the reason why, I think this is so relevant right now, as we live in a time that so much happens remote, is we need to get to know each other better, quicker, if we want to be successful doing each other's business. Now, sometimes I feel like, for example, as we're going to talk about in a second, when we apply to sales, that this is me in an attempt to sell you something. It's a tool that I can break you open, decipher you, and magically get you to buy something from me. What would you say against that approach, which is definitely not the way how we want to approach it with? But what is that approach? Well, how do you think, is that right or wrong, or where does that stand?
Yeah, so people are infinitely complex, and even if you think you have a secret key or some code word to magically make someone buy something from you, you're wrong. It's not going to work. And anybody who signs up for our product thinking that it does that is inevitably disappointed, because it doesn't do that. However, what it does do is provide some very good, measurable, real personality tendencies and communication preferences, and just ways that people like to work and collaborate based on real data and real validated personality models. And if you have that information to know that Jocko, for instance, happens to be a very high level thinker and prefers to communicate with energy and casual language, and and I know going into a meeting that I should really adapt that style. I shouldn't bog you down in details, and I should stick to the story of what I'm telling. And I'm looking at your crystal profile at the moment, so I know that that's the case. It's a bridge. It's a bridge to connect with you on a more human level. And then once I know those things, I can minimize the chance of miscommunicating, because all of a sudden I'm just kind of being ignorant and using my own communication style and my own focusing on what motivates me instead of thinking about you. And then we are skipping that whole part of friction, early friction and the slow kind of grinding process that sometimes kills deals, kills new business relationships, and getting right to the meat of what we're talking about. Because I know that you are motivated and compelled by these things, and you probably want to hear those things from me as well if I'm selling a product. So it's about creating a bridge between two people and accelerating the relationship. It's not about manipulating or having some secret persuasion tactic.
Great. I'll pick up on the topic of bridging. And, as I emigrated to the US, emigrated from the Netherlands and immigrated to the US, what I experienced is that Philips put me through a very nice program that they have. It was like, and we moved to Utah, so we had how to get them used to the American culture and how do we integrate with the Mormon culture in Utah. And bridging was a very key skill. And I'll give you an example. If somebody would ask me, Jocko, where you're from, and I say from the Netherlands, and the person says, "Oh, that's great. I got a family member in Finland." Then what a normal Dutch person would respond to is, Finland, like that's only like 4-hour flight away from. And so you would, give that person an indication, like make them feel like they do not know where the Netherlands is in contrast to Finland. By doing that, although I'm technically correct, I am de-bridging it. I'm building up a wall between the person. The person wanted to bridge with me, and they wanted to say, I have someone in that area, and by doing that, I become a familiarity. Now, in order to do that, nowadays, I say very simply where I'm from, Amsterdam, and everybody loves Amsterdam, and everybody knows Amsterdam. And so the bridging point occurs, and people go like, oh, if you're from Amsterdam, you must be, blunt, transparent, relatively socialized in certain things and stuff like that. That's a bridging point. If you can do that with, Crystal knows, or Crystal, and